For many people, winning the lottery is a once-in-a-lifetime dream, the kind of miracle that promises freedom, happiness, and the end of every worry. But for some, that golden ticket didn't unlock paradise. Instead, it opened the gates to a nightmare, from sudden disappearances to shocking betrayals and even murder. These are the haunted stories of lottery winners whose good fortune turned fatally bad. The dream that became a curse. When you buy a lottery ticket, your mind rushes ahead. You imagine yourself quitting that job, paying off debts, buying the dream house. You see a life free of stress, filled with ease. But for every smiling millionaire splashed across the news, there are darker tales of fortunes that bred envy, betrayal, and bloodshed. And no story embodies this chilling pattern better than that of Abraham Shakespeare, the Florida truck driver whose rags-to-riches tale ended not in luxury but in a shallow grave. In November 2006, Abraham Shakespeare, a humble truck driver's assistant from Lakeland, Florida, stopped at a convenience store with a coworker. He spent just $2 on lottery tickets. To everyone's disbelief, one of those tickets turned out to be the jackpot, worth $30 million. At first, it looked like the ultimate blessing. Shakespeare chose the lump sum payout, walking away with around $17 million after taxes. Overnight, his life transformed. But here's where the story shifts from miracle to tragedy. Shakespeare had always been quiet, reserved, and not much of a spender. He didn't dream of yachts or mansions. Instead, he bought a modest home, a few cars, and generously helped out friends and family. Too generously. Soon, people he barely knew were knocking on his door asking for money, favors, handouts. He was overwhelmed. In 2007, he even told a childhood friend, "I'd have been better off broke." And then came Dee Moore. Moore presented herself as a businesswoman who wanted to help him manage his money. In reality, she wanted to siphon it for herself. Within months, she gained control of his assets. By 2009, Shakespeare vanished. Friends began asking questions, but Moore insisted he'd gone into hiding because he was tired of being hassled for money. She even texted from his phone, pretending to be him, but her cover story unraveled. In January 2010, police discovered Shakespeare's body buried under a concrete slab in the backyard of a property Moore had purchased. He'd been shot twice in the chest. Dee Moore was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life without parole. Abraham Shakespeare's story is the ultimate cautionary tale. A man who only wanted peace and kindness found himself hunted, manipulated, and silenced because of his fortune. The strange case of Urooj Khan. Now, let's move from Florida to Chicago. In June 2012, Urooj Khan, a 46-year-old dry-cleaning business owner, scratched off a lottery ticket and won $1 million. Like Shakespeare, he chose the lump sum, $425,000 after taxes. He was ecstatic. He even posed for the cameras with a giant check, smiling from ear to ear. But just one day after the check was issued, on July 20th, Khan suddenly died. The official report? Natural causes. Doctors claimed it was a heart problem, but the truth was far more sinister. Weeks later, a relative demanded further testing. The Cook County medical examiner exhumed Khan's body and discovered something chilling: cyanide poisoning. Yes, Khan had been murdered. Investigators immediately suspected foul play. The prime suspects? Those closest to him. His wife, Shabana Ansari, and his brother-in-law were questioned repeatedly. But despite years of investigation, no one has ever been charged with his murder. A millionaire, dead within weeks of winning, poisoned by an unknown hand. To this day, the case of Urooj Khan remains unsolved. A haunting reminder that sudden wealth can make you a target in ways you'd never imagine. Gregory Birch Jr., a 20-year-old forklift driver, shocked his small town when he won $434,000 in a Fantasy 5 jackpot. He was humble, hardworking, and planned to use the money to take care of his family. But word spread fast. On February 17, 2016, masked gunmen burst into his home. They demanded money. Birch pleaded for his life. He even threw wads of cash at them, begging them not to harm his girlfriend and children. But the attackers showed no mercy. Gregory Birch was shot dead in his own home, just 3 months after winning the lottery. Police later arrested 7 suspects connected to the robbery and murder. But for his family, the tragedy underlined a brutal truth. Sudden wealth in a small town paints a target on your back. The curse of Jack Whittaker. Sometimes the haunting isn't about vanishing into the ground, but into despair. In 2002, Jack Whittaker, a contractor from West Virginia, won one of the largest jackpots in history at the time, $314 million. Unlike the others in our story, Whittaker was already wealthy before his win, but the fortune brought nothing but pain. Whittaker's generosity became his downfall. He gave away millions, but he also became entangled in lawsuits, robberies, and personal tragedies. His granddaughter, Brandy, who lived lavishly off his winnings, died of a drug overdose. Later, his daughter Ginger also passed away. Whittaker himself admitted that the money had ruined his life. By the time of his death, in 2020, most of the fortune was gone. While not murdered or vanished, Whittaker is often cited as proof that lottery wealth can destroy just as easily as it builds. Then, there's the case of Americo Lopez, a New Jersey construction worker. In 2009, Lopez secretly won $38.5 million, but decided not to tell his co-workers, despite the fact they had all pitched in to buy the ticket. Lopez quit his job shortly after, claiming he needed foot surgery. However, the truth eventually leaked out. His co-workers sued him, claiming the ticket was a group purchase. The court agreed, and Lopez was ordered to share the winnings. But here's the strange part. After the ruling, Lopez disappeared from public life. Neighbors reported his house had gone quiet. He refused interviews. Today, his whereabouts are largely unknown. He wasn't murdered. He wasn't robbed. He simply vanished into obscurity. Another man swallowed up by the curse of lottery riches. More haunting tales. These aren't isolated cases. Across the globe, stories of lottery winners gone missing, murdered, or destroyed by fortune continue to surface. In the UK, Callie Rogers, who won £1.9 million at just 16, later said the win nearly ruined her life, leaving her broke and depressed. In Thailand, winners have been poisoned by jealous relatives. In Canada, a $10 million winner named Jeffrey Dampier was murdered in 2005 by his own sister-in-law, who wanted his money. The pattern is clear. Money may change circumstances, but it doesn't change human nature. It magnifies it, and often it magnifies greed. Why do some lottery wins turn to the dark side? Why does this happen so often? Why does sudden wealth, especially from something like a lottery, so often lead to tragedy? Experts say it comes down to 3 things. 1. Envy and targeting. When your name hits the news as a millionaire, you suddenly become prey for friends, strangers, and sometimes even family. 2. Unprepared wealth. Unlike self-made fortunes, lottery winnings arrive without the emotional tools to handle them. Winners often spiral under pressure. 3. Isolation. Many winners withdraw, distrusting everyone around them. That isolation can make them vulnerable. So maybe the question isn't whether these stories are about luck at all. Maybe it's about the weight of sudden fortune, the spiritual toll of abundance without preparation. Because for every smiling lottery winner you see on TV, there are darker stories behind the curtain. Stories of haunted tickets, of lives cut short, of fortunes turned to ashes. And maybe, just maybe, it makes you wonder, if you held that winning ticket in your hand, would it really be a blessing? Or would it be the beginning of your own haunting? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, so we can continue this journey together. Thank you for watching.